Hi everyone, Vickie here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. Thank you for joining me for the free monthly readings. We're going to be doing July's reading in a minute. I like to go over everything in the beginning so I don't have to constantly repeat myself during the readings. I want everybody to pick a color before we start. That's one thing I want to make sure that we color. The second thing is the court cards when they come up in the reading, the ones that are people. They're not necessarily a gender assigned. So a queen could be a male, female, whoever. I will refer to them as he as a king or knight and she as a queen. But really it doesn't have to be a male or female, especially in these general readings. We're going to be using my Rock and Roll Tarot deck for the tarot portion of this spread. And then we're going to pull a card from the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards, which are also my own creation. I have lots of tools available for spiritual growth, including these adult coloring books. And if you're trying to learn tarot, you can pick up my book, Tarot in the Modern World, which is all linked below. I want to get to something really quick because, as you noticed, I have two tarot Rock and Roll Tarot decks here. This is the first edition. This is the one that I've been selling through the print on demand, and it's still going to be available. I'm not doing away with it, and actually the changes are not that, there's not a lot of big changes. One of the big changes is in the second edition. It has this box. The new edition has the real nice box, and it opens up, like this, and the cards are inside. The cards are very slightly different sized, but not noticeably so. Tiny bit smaller, but a little bit wider. I changed a few things. I didn't change any of the words. So if you have the first edition deck, you're good. It's not obsolete by any means. I changed a little bit of the background colors on the sword cards, and I changed one card didn't have its name on it, the Four of Swords. So I did change. That's the only card that the text was changed on. Let me see if I can find it. I can't find it, but it was the Four and the Swords. I did change the colors a little slightly. Here's the same card from one and the other. So I toned down the colors a little bit on the Cups card, and I changed the background color a little bit on the Swords cards, because the Swords were looking too close to the Major Arcana. So it did have this kind of rainbow thing, so I put like a little bit of a darker background in. But otherwise, I mean, all the keywords are the same. Again, if you have the first deck, it's not going to be obsolete. And there's going to be many versions of this deck to come. I want to do a monochromatic, and I want to do I want to do several versions, a neat day glow one. The thing is, now that I have this new deck, I'm doing a Kickstarter. I want this to be available on Amazon. Many of you were saying that you couldn't get the deck because they were charging like $50 or more to ship it overseas. So I've started a Kickstarter, and it's going to be this new version of the deck, and it's going to be available on Amazon with shipping overseas. I redesigned the box. It's got some things on the side and that. And it'll be Amazon shipping. It's going to be better for everybody. You won't have to wait. I've done this Kickstarter, and it's I've made some really cool custom merch that's going to be incentives only for Kickstarter donators. It's a concert ticket, a backstage pass, and a laminated VIP all access pass. These are only available through specific donations through Kickstarter and won't be available for sale any other way. This is to show my appreciation. I'd planned on doing the readings with the newer deck for this month. That's why the readings are late getting up. I was waiting on the shipping. But there was a problem, and one of the sheets came out all black. But luckily the printer corrected it right away, and the sheet's on its way. I'm starting it's coming tomorrow. But I got to start the readings. We're getting way behind here. So some of you will have the reading of July done with the first edition box or deck. And many of you will have it done with the second edition, but I'm going to go ahead and start it now. I won't use this deck because there's some cards that are missing at this time. The other thing, this box is a big improvement. And look how big this box is. It never really kind of fit right. These are the same amount of cards, and look how much more compact and solid it is. It's a little bit better quality. The card stock is a little thicker, but I don't really notice a huge difference in the thickness of the cards. They're pretty comparable, but technically this new deck is a thicker cardboard and it's coated, but it looks like these are coated too. So I've rattled on enough. I just wanted to let you know what's going on. Some of the readings are going to have this deck and some are going to have the other, and that's the reason why. And please stop over to that Kickstarter page and check it out if you can. I appreciate your support. Also, I'm open for readings. I'll be doing the soul readings are available. These are deep readings These are based on your chart. It's very much in past lives, but it's also like at a karmic level, what you're doing in this life, why you've incarnated, all these sorts of things. If you don't get your message from your sun sign reading, be sure to check out your rising sign and moon. These readings are meant to empower you. While we're doing the readings, I want you to look at the words as well. Hold up all the cards, freeze them. If something stands out to you, if something morphs and it looks like it's saying something other than what the actual word is, allow that to happen. This is empowerment tarot. These cards will talk to you. Let them talk to you. That is how you can get a message that's strictly for you and beyond just a general reading for everybody. Okay, I think I've rattled on enough. Without further ado, on to the July readings. Hello Aquarius, thanks for joining me for July. You are one of the first people, so I'm using the first edition deck, but I do have the box here for the second edition. Please check out that Kickstarter because I'd really like to get this deck printed up properly. Okay, what's going on for Aquarius anyway? Aquarius. Okay. I don't know, this one wants to come. I think one of these. Both of them. Okay. And then we need some more cards for Aquarius. Aquarius. Aquarius, one more card for Aquarius. Alright, there it is. Okay, so here's your reading. I had something went right out of my head. Alright, let's start at the top. So first card out is the Knight of... oh, if you had your color. Make sure you see your color in here and take a look at it if you picked the color before we started. Take a look and pay special attention to that word, but all the words, any word that pops or changes on you, make sure to follow your instincts on that. Okay, first card out, Knight of Rods in reverse. So this is a person. This is probably a fire sign person, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Could be somebody that you had a little issue with in the last fire sign, which would have been in, well actually we're moving into fire. Well, it could have, initially I wanted to say in the last fire sign, so that could have been in Aries. That could have been like in April. But we are moving into fire this month. After the 22nd, we're going to be moving into the sign of Leo. But this sort of feels like an existing situation, but for some of you this might be coming up after the 22nd. So there's a decision. You got to make a decision. Two of Swords is always we got to make a decision, and it feels like, you know, with the blinders on, we don't have the whole picture, or we're not seeing things clearly, or we just don't have all the information we need. We feel like we just can't make that decision at this time. It's a tough decision. It's a tough call. Okay. And Ten of Rods is there, so this is I'm carrying this heavy load. I'm carrying this heavy burden. So it's like. I hear that song again. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. I think it's a tough decision either way. And I think that maybe some feelings are going to get hurt. I feel like you kind of have to say no to this person. Again, if you watch the intro, could be male or female, but we're going to call him he. It's going to be a letdown. You kind of have to say no to this person. And it's kind of like, ugh, I don't want to do it. But if I don't cut them loose or say no to them, then it's just not working out. It's causing me a lot of heavy load on my back and I can't deal with it. You guys just really aren't gelling, you know. You're on different page. You're not on the same page. That's what I get. I don't feel like, oh, this is a horrible person. Let's, you know, we hate them forever. And I feel a lot of it is like shared responsibilities. Like this is a co-worker. This is an employee. This is a housemate. This is somebody that isn't pulling their weight, okay? And if it's a work situation, you'd be better off getting somebody who's going to pitch in equally so that the burden's not so hard on you. If it's a romantic relationship, it could be. You know, I don't know. But there's not actually the follow-up cards. There's one emotional cards down here, but the follow-up cards aren't that much. But whatever it is, you can't go on like this. The Ten of this says you can't go on like this. That, you know, maybe you can carry that weight for a while, but it's gonna, after a while, just become so oppressive and so heavy, and you might already be getting to that point. You know, it's just like, I can't deal with this. financially, this whole row looks like some nice money for you guys. That's why I kind of feel like there's some, like this, there's definitely a shared responsibility, but if we're in a romantic relationship and we're living together and we're married, then we have shared responsibilities. So there could be, and if you're, there would be financial implications too if you're sharing expenses in a house, living together or married or something. But anyways, down to here. Because money's looking great for you. But I feel like it's kind of after you cut this, get out of this thing. Maybe this is your boss at work. You know, maybe you need to just quit that job or get out of there. Maybe they're just a jerk. See, the Knight of Rods is not, they're sort of impulsive and young. They don't think things through. They're, cocky is one of the words I used on there. They're just kind of, they're not, it's not a king. They're usually not to a level of maturity. There's like an immature, childlike nature about them, which can be fun and great in certain circumstances, but when you're working with somebody like that, sometimes it cannot be so fun. Or if there's responsibilities that things have to be taken care of and one person is behaving very childishly, or you feel like you always have to be, after them like a child, then that's no fun. That's not fun. Okay, it's cute sometimes to be around people like that, but it depends on what your interaction situation is, right? So money's looking great. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a card of financial independence and everything's going well and all that kind of stuff. But it's an independent, it's a one person. So for some of you, if it's like, well, I got this work situation, I can't stand that person, but if I quit, what's going to happen? Maybe you're going to go off and start your own business. Maybe you're going to work on your own. Maybe you're better off working on your own. Or better off in a situation where you work on your own. Because sometimes this isn't just like freelancing, or having your own business. Sometimes this is like an independent contractor. And many people work from home, but really, or people sometimes like this would be like realtors would have this. Like maybe you're associated with Century 21 or whoever, some realty firm, but really you're out there, earning potential, or in sales, your earning potential is your own. You can make more money if you want to. What I want to say is you don't have to run it past anybody. And if this is a house, maybe if it is a relationship, it's just like, I don't have to run it past anybody, and now I can just flourish. I'm making more money because I don't have this extra stress and aggravation hanging over my head. Okay, look at his face. I hope we can get a good focus on this. Look at his face. Because that's always the telltale sign. And this is the central card. What does his face look like to you? Does he look like he's happy? Does he look like he's worried about money? Does he look like he's accomplished something through a good day's work? I see it as kind of a lump sum. I see like these two piles of money. Again, though, if you're breaking up a relationship or a business partnership, it could be, well, this is yours and this is mine. It could be like that, too. But I feel like it's a good day's work and I've got this pile of money. Now, where do I go next? And the reason I like both of these, too, is that the Five of Pentacles is in reverse here. Five of Pentacles is that poverty card, and it's aligned with this heavy load here, too. So it's feeling like I'm not upright. It's feeling like I'm not enough. I can't, I'm just always, this is my lot in life. I just can't seem to get a leg up. And in reverse, it's like that's lifting. That's not really a factor anymore. You're feeling lighter. You're feeling, that's not a factor. Well, there seems to be a big influx of money here, too. I feel for many of you, this is some lump sum. You're going to get a nice chunk of money here. I mean, maybe you're going to sell a house or sell something, or they have to buy you out of the business or something. I don't know. Note that, too, this Ten of Rods and these are connected, right? Because when you are in this state of carrying this heavy load and trying to, just trying to get, paycheck to paycheck and trying to get all this stuff done, you can't. You can, I mean, you probably can, but it's very difficult to get in this prosperous place. These two cards, when this is the regular way, this is night and day. This is complete prosperity, complete comfort and money and abundance, and this is complete lack and poverty. So this lack energy is tied to this and this. So when you make this decision, you release that, all of a sudden everything starts really rolling. Your energy changes. So therefore you're not in this struggle zone as much. So therefore prosperity can come through. And comfort. And this is peace of mind too. It's not just about give me piles of money. It's about peace of mind, just feeling I'm okay. Feeling safe, This feels like a lot of stress up here. Then you down here, you have Seven of Swords in reverse, so something's coming back to you that's been taken away. It's a breakthrough. This is in line with this guy too. You're never going to have an agreement. You're never going to see eye to eye with this person. That's what this card means, upright. It's like stalemate. You know, we can't, it's not going to be worked out, whoever they are. And then Six of Cups is in reverse too, which is kind of not a bad card either, because Six of Cups in reverse is saying it's not like it was in the past. We're not going to go back to the same old thing. And it can be good or bad depending on the cards around it. But in this case, the cards around it are pretty freaking nice, you know. Who wants to go back to the way things were? You know, who wants that? Nobody. This is good that we're not going back to that. We're not going to fall into that victim mentality again. We're not going to fall into, oh, but I have to be nice and put up with their crap. I have to help them, take care of them at my own expense. At my own expense, not financially, but emotionally and psychologically and every other way. You know, you're going to be in a position where nobody's riding your coattails anymore. This just stood out to me, the thing, and there's not, like, nothing's on there. Nobody's riding your coattails. You're free to, you know, be the best you can be now. And do things your way. Because I feel like a lot of times you have ideas to do things a certain way, and this person's like, no, 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 blah, blah, blah. And then it just adds to more and more, you know, and then that cocky thing, you know, they can be a little cocky. So Seven of Cups is in reverse, but that's saying like you can create the life of your dreams right now. Keep visualizing, even if you're not quite there, you know, because as long as you keep visualizing, this song comes up every time too. If you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true, you know, from Disney. So you got to keep doing that. You got to visualize your life the way you want it to be, and not everybody's on the same path. Not everybody's on the same page. Doesn't mean this person's a bad person. Maybe in some cases they are. You do have a lot of resentment towards them, but I'm not really picking that up. It just feels like they're young and foolish, and they don't really. It feels like you're ready to get down to business here. Like you're ready to make a change. You're ready to. You have plans and ideas that are they can be carried out. These are good plans. These are things that you can create to make a reality. But not if somebody's riding your coattails and always dragging you down, and you always have to run it past them, and they don't see the vision that you see. You know, because they're too, you know, too impetuous, or whatever you want to say, with that Knight. Okay, let me go ahead and get your animal totem for you guys. I was going to call you Aries. I know you're Aquarius, but maybe this is Aries, because at the very beginning I wanted to say Aries. So I think for a lot of you, either this happened in the time of Aries, or this person might be an Aries, okay? I know it's Aquarius. You don't have to comment and say I'm saying the wrong sign. We're reading for Aquarius for July 2016. Dolphin, love that. Oh, love dolphin energy. Okay. I recommend that you take a look at it, see if anything stands out to you. And also, I haven't been mentioning this lately, but if anybody sees your animal totem or gets confirmation, I'd love to hear those in the comments if you feel like doing it. Okay. Optimist, clairaudient, spirit guide, starseed. Joyous interaction of fun and play, sexuality. Caring for those less fortunate. Embracing personal freedom and respecting others' choices. Well, I like that last part about respecting personal freedom and the other people's choices, embracing personal freedom. Because that's what this is about. It's like, it's back to that I mentioned before, the Michael Beckwith. You are free and I am free. It's not like, oh, they're such an asshole, I gotta blah, blah, blah to them. It's like, go ahead. You see things one way, free. I wish you the best. Good for you. Go. And then when you have your personal freedom, then you can create the world that you're wanting to create. And optimist. That's the very first word. Be the optimist. Create the positive life that you want. Okay, please check out that Kickstarter campaign. I really appreciate everybody's support. I want to be able to get the rock and roll deck out to everybody. And thank you for supporting me in all the stuff that you do with the books and these books and the decks and everything else, and ordering the readings and donating and liking, sharing everything you do for the channel. It's highly appreciated. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have a great month of July, and I'll speak to you soon. The Rock and Roll Tarot Deck. It's a groovy deck designed to unlock your psychic potential. Combining the iconic tarot imagery of Pamela Coleman Smith with rock poster art to reveal a fresh new take on an ancient oracle. Each card contains keywords to help memorize the meanings, but as you progress, the text shapes may change and morph to reveal much more. Allow your mind to wander so that Spirit can communicate with you through the illustrations on the cards. The Rock and Roll Tarot deck is a full 78 card deck. The extra large size enables you to see the cards clearly and enjoy the vibrant artwork. Created by spiritual artist Vickie, who is a seasoned tarot reader herself, this beautiful deck is meant to grow with you as you progress forward on your path. In gratitude for your support, Vickie has created some rock-themed merch that is only available through Kickstarter pledges, including a concert ticket, backstage pass, and an all-access VIP laminated pass. The money from this campaign will go towards the manufacturing and shipping of the deck to Amazon fulfillment centers, where it then will be available for quick and easy purchasing and shipping worldwide. Additional funds will be used for the manufacturing of the merch and further promotion of the deck. Be sure to tune in to Vickie's YouTube channel for free monthly card readings and broadcasts from the universe.